Mother's tragedy, another life saved. As high as the homicide rate was last year, there's often very little chance to recover organs of murder victims to save other lives. RTV6's Melissa Mahadeo and digital journalist Jordan Fisher on why that's the case and why that rare exception can be so rewarding.
When Scott Morin was shot in 2009, doctors weren't able to save his life, but they were able to save another by transplanting one of his lungs to a recipient. Homicide victims like Scott are rare, even though Indianapolis saw a record number of murders last year, 149. Only 5 victims became organ donors. Scott's mother, Bonnie, heard the gunshots that killed her son. A registered nurse, she rushed to his body and performed CPR until medics arrived, maintaining the critical blood flow that would allow him, unlike so many other homicide victims, to become an organ donor.
I can remember everything about that day. And when I opened the garage and saw Scott there bleeding, it was a very surreal moment for me. Very surreal. But I did save his life for a while.
There's nothing inherent in a homicide that would make an individual not a donor. But in our experience, most homicide victims don't get to the hospital, aren't maintained, we're not able to support their bodies while the family decides to proceed with organ donation.
Although Bonnie's quick action saved Scott's body, his brain was dead. She had to make an impossible decision she'd seen so many other families make as a nurse, whether Scott would become an organ donor. Bonnie said yes. Nearly 8 years later, she says that decision has helped her to heal and to become a stronger person than she was before.
There's never a guarantee for tomorrow. My son knew I loved him, and I was able to tell him I loved him too, right up to the last breath he took. He knew I loved him.